Three. Good morning. It's Friday. Welcome to the Friday Grief Chat from Nevada and
And St. Joe, Illinois.
Illinois. There we go. And it's Friday. And it's
Friday,
95
Friday.
degrees already outside.
Oh, it's in the
Yeah.
50s here. Do you have a conference in Nevada? Do
No,
you have a
I have a hotel room that doesn't cost anything and it's overlooking the Colorado River.
Oh,
And it seemed like a really good weekend to be away because everything is busy every weekend for months, but this one wasn't.
oh, I'm
Yeah,
so glad. I'm so glad. Oh my
right?
God. Yeah, yeah.
So here
Well,
we are. How has your week been? For those who don't know, Deb has had a busy week.
I have had a busy medical week. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It's been
I'm glad you're
interesting,
here.
little ups and downs, and I still need a little bit more testing, and then I'll rest easy. Let's put it that way. So, but my cough got investigated. I expect some blood test results really soon, and that's cool. And then someone else posted how they had a very similar cough, and there's that's why keeping in touch with all sorts of Facebook friends is important. I think you can
Right. There's lots of input.
further information. Yeah, yeah. And this week, so we had our big fair, and not all the monies are in, but they're getting close. So I'm hoping to have made money for our church. And I think even the vendors all felt nurtured there. And that was
That's what's
really
important.
important. You
Right.
know,
Right. I'm so
I,
glad you're able to do that.
it's not so much how much money we make. It's, I love the energy because it's palpable, gets put into our space. And then
Right.
people feel that energy and feel motivated to do even more. So I'm really excited. And the other thing is it's a dual how a yeah, a dual, not dual like slap walk 10 paces, but dual spelled DUAL, and dual holiday weekend as next week will be. And so this weekend is Palm Sunday
Right.
and Passover. And so I'm going to start to write my talk today. And yeah, it's, you know,
We're doing some of the same thing with us, our Central Counseling Services, as a nonprofit known as CCS Education and Wellness.
yeah,
And we are in the process of taking over the former parish house at First Congregational Church downtown Riverside, which is where we do Project Food, which has been
yes.
feeding people who are homeless and near homeless for 40 plus years, and
Wow.
where we also provide the free medical clinic of Riverside, which is student and volunteer run. Every kind of medical care you could need, absolutely free, including pharmacy. Every other Wednesday, we have dental. Now we have chiro and PT and all of it, all free. So we're going to move our nonprofit team into the parish house. And as we've talked about it with our team at CCS, we've got now 10 people scheduled to come and help with the next cleanup and scrub the walls and paint the walls day,
Oh,
because it feels good to be able to give back to the community,
that's
and it
right.
energizes community when they see someone cares and they feel the caring and the nurturing like you are doing in St. Joe.
Yes. Yes. That's what's important. And
Mhm.
next door to in Urbana in at Unity Church and Spiritual Center is a friend of mine owns that, and that's called Pure Being, and they have many health and healing modalities, therapy by licensed counselors, and yoga and other things as well.
Yeah.
And so they too do things, and then right catty corner from them, and catty corner from our church, because our church is next door to Pure Being, is a women's shelter. And quite often we just have to walk things out our door and straight over there. And it's really quite wonderful. And then down the way, maybe a block, is the Quaker house. And I love the
What
healing
an amazing
energy there.
combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Absolutely. I also I want to take a moment out too. We have a regular listener who is right now at the vet with her beloved baby and saying goodbye. So our thoughts are with you, Linnea, as you are doing this. She's in another state from both of us, but
mhm.
she's been dreading this day, and I know she'd appreciate some good thoughts for that. Right? It's been a tough one for her.
It is it is really hard to say goodbye to our I don't want to just say fur babies, because there's winged ones. I
Hmm.
have another a Facebook friend who does tarantulas and has tarantulas
There are lizards.
and lizards. Oh my gosh. And it's just really, really hard when that happens. And
It is. And when you know that it's coming, and so it's very much an anticipatory grief, and one that's also very solo because people don't typically come and say goodbye to our little ones
right.
who aren't human. And I think it's important that we do that. When Adele was dying, people in COVID, people
Uh-huh.
came by and said goodbye in the backyard.
Right. Right.
So I didn't mean to hijack the show. I just wanted to
No,
make sure
no,
that,
no. I'm so
when we've got regular listeners and viewers, we need to include them.
we do. And I- it's it's just hard. It's even hard when you feed the birds outside and one dies. And I know many people will uh, bury those birds, although technically you should not touch them because of bird flu that goes around. Like, even I'm not feeding the birds purposefully. I do take a lot of our leftover carbohydrates and throw those outside. But for different squirrels and animals that come around. But it really, that is really hard. And go ahead.
And it is cycle of life. We had this discussion at a staff get together last weekend when somebody said that they were not fond of squirrels, and we sort of I jumped because you know what, I feed the squirrels,
Hmm.
and somebody else is fond of hawks, and I love the hawks in our neighborhood, but I have a really big stick in my backyard, and if they approach my songbirds, we have words in the stick flies. I'm not going to hit anyone, but I am going to use it to get you away from my songbirds. You can
We
go do that cycle of life somewhere else.
we no, I understand. Um we have likewise coyotes, we have foxes. Foxes you don't have to worry about. They don't go after your dogs or anything, but a
No.
coyote might. They'll go after your whatever you have back in the
Oh,
backyard.
yeah, our coyotes are vicious in our neighborhood, and we keep them out of
Right.
our backyard. Yeah.
We have the deer, we have eagles, we have um blue herons and white herons. We have plenty of hawks and owls. And so, it could be a buffet outside for various animals. And yes, that
Dirty
is the
things, yes.
cycle of life. And I too have a very, very dear friend that absolutely detests squirrels. And I grew up in Chicago, I thought squirrels and pigeons were your personal pets, you know, and everybody had them. And back in the day, all you had to do was put something on your hand and you know, for them to eat and hold your hand out
Mhm.
like this. And if you go to national parks where you eat outside, I am telling you, squirrels, chipmunks, and birds are fearless. They will run up your pant leg and grab your sandwich. You know, I mean, that's how fearless they are. You
We
have to
were
go,
in the
oh,
Yeah,
fine.
we were in the Smoky Mountains when we were children, and we were camping, and we had this beautiful campsite right next to a ravine. And my little sister was pitching an absolute fit that she did not want her dinner. I think it was like fish sticks, and then there were green beans and something. It was like all the things she hated most, but it was the end of the shopping trip in the tiny little ice box that we had. And so it was what it was. And she pushed her plate aside, and this huge bird came flying in, picked up the entire plate, and flew off across the canyon. She had dry cereal for dinner.
You know, I came across, and I wasn't young, let's just say this, when I did this. But I left back in the day. I could eat gorp. I could eat peanuts, right? So there was M&Ms, peanuts, raisins, granola, all sorts of trail mixy type stuff, right?
Right.
And had left it on a picnic table. I was camping with a girlfriend, and when I came back, there was a raccoon that had his paws in my stuff. And I said, "You SOB." And I grabbed it out of his hands and I go, "Mine." Now, you wouldn't think I would eat right after, right after that, but I did. And I know this is a program on grief. I was going to lose my gorp. And I
That's
was
right. And that is a loss.
sad.
Humor keeps us going. And sometimes we just need to tell the stories because storytelling is a number one way of doing grief.
I
How,
know,
how do you do grief? You tell the story of the person or the thing that is no longer.
you know, absolutely. And I, sort of switching aside, I sort of felt just sad the other day. I couldn't, I know I was tired, but I started counting up all the losses and all the
Oh,
funerals that I have done so far this year and within the last 12 months. And oh my goodness, I'm seasoned. But I started thinking about my friends through the ages. I might not have kept contact constantly with all these people, but
right.
really,
They're
I
still part of us, aren't they?
they they are, and I just started thinking about stories with them, and I had some moments, you know,
Hmm.
and not just people who were alive and that died. I thought about friendships that have transitioned or friendships from way back when. And I just said, well, one, I said, wow, you're resilient. You're still walking the planet. You haven't totally caved, but you have a moment of caving. And that's okay. That's important to be able to uh, sort of wobble. You know, we're all weebles. We don't quite
Right.
fall down, but we can get up. We fall down, but we can get up. That's a weeble, right?
Right. And we know that when there are losses, and we think about one, it is not at all unusual for other losses to come forward, even losses that we have dealt with and have pretty much put to bed, that missing and that longing and that. wow, it's been this long, comes forward,
It it
right?
does.
It really does.
And
Yeah,
I had to write. I did write on somebody's uh, Facebook page. We never get over. That's not, we integrate.
right.
And with that integration, every once in a while, depending on when, a tender spot comes up, and honor that tender. That means
Little branch comes
heal.
right on out. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
know. And sometimes those feelings squirt out your eyes.
They do indeed, and it's perfectly okay, and you can do that, and you can still be okay with it, right?
That's right. And Steve just wibbles wobble, but they don't fall down. That's right.
I
That's
actually
right.
am a bad
Did
weeble
you
because
hear
I
all
fall
that?
down. Yes,
Oh, now
I
I
do fall
can't hear
down,
you.
but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It happened. I can now. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
apologize, folks. I'm on my phone. I managed to bring my
Yeah.
computer to Nevada, and I managed to leave my computer cord in California. Even after Stacy said, "Are you sure you have your cord?" And I said, "Oh yeah, yeah. I had it in my hand, but in my backpack, no. I had it in my hand. I did not put it in my backpack." So here I am grieving my computer cord, and
You
I'm in a
know,
tiny town in Nevada where you can't get same day or next day delivery.
that's right.
Yeah,
And, losses come in many different ways.
they do
Remember when
indeed.
I thought I lost my keys? Yes,
Yep.
and Daryl overnighted. Yep. And then I found my
Oh, that was
keys.
hysterical. There they
So
were. Yeah. $27 of overnighting and the keys were already there.
there they were. And
Don't
because
trust Jill
Jill,
and Deb.
they were. They were.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes our grief is I've lost my mind and I am grieving uh the inaccuracy and the randomness of it all. So,
Yeah.
and actually that's a very real aging thing,
Aging is
as
one
well
bit of
as
grief at a time.
it it is. And whether you actually have an amputation, which I know several people have, of this or that, or, sometimes I call, when you lose a body part, don't forget to say goodbye to it. Be it your gallbladder, be it a tooth, be it a mole on your back. Don't forget to say goodbye. And
Right?
sometimes
Ian
there,
says,
yes,
Ian says he still can't find his mind.
yes, Ian, I hear you. He puts it, I'll tell you where Ian puts his mind. Before it, in the morning, it's next to his coffee pot, which is not a coffee pot, it's a mocha pot. And
Ooh,
so, yeah, he has a Italian mocha pot. So do I now, but I haven't used it yet.
you need to get
So
it
that's
out.
where, Ian, if you're looking for your mind, it's next to the cantucci. Right now, it's next to your matzo balls, and it's also next to your mocha pot. So
That's
look those
right.
places. That's right.
And for
Yeah.
those who are celebrating Passover this weekend, that can bring forward some feelings of loss and grief in a great big way. I have several
Hmm.
Jewish friends who've recently lost parents, like in the last 2 weeks.
Well,
And now it's Passover, and there is a grief that goes with Passover, simply
there is,
because of the nature of what Passover was and is.
and was to that family. Um,
Yes.
did you do Passover at your house?
I have done Passover with our neighbors when they lived in our neighborhood. We
Hmm.
didn't do it at our house because we celebrated Easter. So I'm missing Palm Sunday this weekend with the prawns in church.
Oh, you know, I stopped buying fronds, and I have some plastic ones that I will put out and use for church.
In California, we cut our own.
Yeah, you got that's right. We
They're
don't have
weeds.
that. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
palm trees are weeds in California.
Yeah, yeah. You
Hmm.
know, I do want to talk about if I encourage people to think about how they did celebrate Passover. And I just want to say, my mom never made Passover. And I think when we were 7 or 6, I don't remember quite. We started going for Passover to her best friend's house, Beverly Pollock. Everybody in that family has just about died, so I don't mind saying. And we would go over to their house, and they would have like 20 people. And for some years, we didn't just go to the house. They rented a hotel room, not
Ah,
like a sleeping hotel room, but like something in a
the
hotel.
banquet. Hmm.
And, and there might have been 40 or 50 people.
Hmm.
And one year, I brought, at that time when I was married to Kate's dad, that I wanted to show him, um, I wanted to show my first husband, what we celebrated, right? And there was the major Stanley Cup playoffs. And the host family, Bev's family, were hockey buffs. So underneath the table, with the tablecloth, there was these little black and white TV sets. And in between readings of the Haggadah, so between Dayenu and the four questions, they'd lift up, and I go, no, no, they are not doing that. And, it was sort of funny and embarrassing to do that. And
Yeah, that wouldn't go at my sister's house, let me just say.
no, no,
There'd be
no.
nothing to plug the TV into.
Right. Well, there used to be in the hotels, you plug them into the floor, right?
Yeah,
There
no,
were,
but she's the really, they don't even use power
oh, on
on
Friday or
Shabbat
Saturday.
and on holy days.
On
There's no
holidays.
power on. Yeah, so you
Wow.
have to cook everything in advance and then keep it warm because you're not doing work and you're not using power and you're using. Oh yeah, it's
Wow.
very observant. Which when she's in California with us is an amazing experience, and it really does sort of center. It's a really good centering, just like doing some kind of memorial service where we do it by candlelight.
Right.
Hmm.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Did you ever, so you've been to some amazing Seders.
Hmm.
What did you like the most and what didn't you like? I mean, as far as food, we're talking food here.
I don't think I've ever met a Jewish food I didn't like. I even like gefilte fish.
Hot dang. I love that. I love the filter fish. I don't
I've
think
never
so
met one I
many.
do not like. Yeah.
Oh, I
Mhm. I can't have most of it now, but
right, because there's gluten mixed into it.
right, right. There's on a couple of food websites you can now order an entire Seder with like the roast and the this, all the sides come and it's all kosher and it's all mixed with gluten. Or I was going to order one just because I was going to enjoy having a wonderful Jewish meal. But
I I bought
God is still
gluten-free
speaking.
matzo. Yeah, yeah. I I bought gluten-free matzah this year,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate it into Sunday service. And yeah, that's what I'm
That's
going
what
to
we
do.
use for communion now at our church, simply because it's gluten free.
Wow.
So
Yay.
now instead, as a celiac person, along with our minister and several other people, we don't have to take. They make these tiny little like snack pack things for gluten free, and they're
Yes,
absolutely horrid, and you could break a tooth. And so now we get to participate fully in the life of the church and share with everyone else, which is really kind of cool,
that is very cool. That is
right?
very cool.
Hmm.
Right, right. And um, so I would make my own haroset or
Nice.
harosas, yeah. So chopped apples and stuff like that. And then I don't know who else loves horseradish the way I do, but I really
Stacy.
love. Oh, yeah. And then I learned how to make asabuco from. I bought a real lamb shank and there was meat on it, and I didn't want to waste that. So I we've always roasted a chicken egg, right? For I mean a chicken bone if we didn't have a lamb shank or a lamb bone. But I would buy now asabuco. I would buy um, lamb bones with lots of extra meat, and I just loved it. And then I would make something with that. So,
Ah, Steven says he's making churroset.
oh, yum,
Mm.
yum, yum, yum.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
And that, huh?
Miam Bialik from
Yes,
yeah, she's from The Big Bang Theory. She played Amy Farrah Fowler, and she uh she put on a vegan, is say vegan, right? Not vegan, vegan,
right.
vegan Passover. And so she was showing all her food and stuff like that. And
And she's very observant.
yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
And you know, during this time of and Jill and I both have said this often, during this time of holidays, while you're missing whether you're missing your whole crew because you're far away, whether you're missing a particular person that you shared this with, remember them with something. Maybe it's some food, maybe it's their recipe, maybe before um, Daryl used to get me the type of chocolate Easter eggs my mom used to buy. And she used to buy them just for me. So he would get them. I can't eat them now, but back then, that's what he would do. And remembering people with food, or maybe it's a particular book, or whether you're Jewish, whether you celebrate Passover, it might be what they call a Haggadah, or maybe it's something from Easter and it's a special Bible or it's a special hymnal that your relative had. Wear that. Maybe it's an Easter hat, maybe it's a Jewish star. Put that on, remember, and let that
Play
comfort
the
you.
music. Play the music, do the things. My mom never would spend money on, good chocolate. And so in her senior years, we made sure that she got a box of See's candy for Easter and a pretty Easter egg. And Stacy's dad loved See's. And none of us can eat it anymore. So it's actually a loss to drive by the store and realize there's nobody to purchase it for. So
Hmm.
that's a remembrance. And then on Easter Sunday, there's going to be, the brass musics and the wind instruments and the organ playing and all the things. And Christ the Lord is risen today. And I'm going to be bawling my eyes out. Just that's just all there is to it, because I'll
Thinking
be
about your
missing them
mom.
and celebrating them at the same time.
Hmm.
Hmm. And that is okay. You can smile and sing and celebrate through the tears, folks. It's okay. It's actually
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Bring
And then
Kleenex.
eat the bunny ears. I don't care if you're Jewish or not. Get the bunny and eat the ears. It's the parent tax. Eat the ears.
I love it. Or should I say, what?
Maybe we'll call it the parent tariff this year, just in honor of all of it.
Really? That's what they call
Yeah,
it? That's funny.
I think I might call it the tariff this year. Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
absolutely. We wish everyone a joyous and special and remembrance filled holiday if your holidays are this weekend or going into next week. And if there are no holidays, we wish you a really good weekend and good memories of those that you are missing. And for those of you who are in the process of losing, we're here with you.
Our hearts are with you.
They
Thank
are.
you.
I would do the heart thing that we do, but I can't. I'll drop my phone and then everyone will get dizzy and bad. So I won't do that. There we go.
Here's your heart.
Hmm.
Like this, grab your left thumb, put your left fingers over it, and press it to your
Right.
heart.
That's right.
Yes.
We'll see you everybody next week, Friday, 10 o'clock. If you're listening afterward on the podcast, thank you. We have put podcast links on the page for Humor, Grace, and Grief for the Friday Grief Chat on Facebook so that you can find the podcast on all the podcast platforms. We're even on iHeart. Go us. Bye,
Yay.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.